What's good, y'all, man? It's time to talk about the nitty gritty. Let's talk about one of the biggest matchups tonight.
So yeah, man. I think it's gonna be a good game. It's a lot going on though, man. We're gonna discuss everything. Obviously, Notre Dame dealing with some things. Penn State looks sharp so far. They're dealing with some things too with injuries. But let's break it all down. All right. So for one, I know a lot of y'all said this doesn't matter, but a lot of these players are still getting exposed to this, right? So they're battling a flu outbreak ahead of this game in the Orange Bowl. Those who have it bad sounds like mostly backups and special teams players. That still matters, right? Special teams, that's where games can be won and lost. I think this is going to be a tightly contested game no matter what way you look at it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have two really elite defenses going head to head. So this still matters, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. Now, again, there's no excuses. You do what you're supposed to do. But at the same time, we do have to take that into account as well for Notre Dame. So, that's going to be interesting as well to see, you might see guys laboring a little bit. Defense might be a little more tired, maybe not as crisp as we usually see it. That's going to be interesting to see kind of early on in the game. Also for Notre Dame, man, they got one of the best coaches, I think, in college football. Obviously, Marcus Freeman, he's won the George Munger Coach of the Year. He's had just a phenomenal, ever since they lost, in Northern Illinois, they've won 12 straight, and they've won 11 of those by double digits. This is a team that, they're synonymous with their coach. I think he's taking them, I don't want to say new heights because Notre Dame's a brand in of itself, but I think he's taking them higher than what we maybe seen with, obviously, head coach Les Miles, who's obviously now at LSU. You know what I'm saying, when we break everything down. So I think that's really intriguing to see, what he's been able to do with his group. Now, he got to finish it off. You know what I'm saying? He got to make sure, he finishes off for the title, or that's null and void. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of the expectation with him. But nonetheless, you got to give credit where credit is due. He's doing a phenomenal job with this group. Now, as we continue to talk about Notre Dame, that defense is something special. As you can see, picture here is Jordan Faison. Now, he's a stud in and of himself as well, plays the safety spot. They also got Xavier Watts, who's another stud, had 7 tackles in that win against Georgia. Considered one of the best safeties in the country, has won a whole bunch of awards and accolades, right? That dude, All-American. You know what I'm saying? Anything you can think of, that guy can do, right? This team is leading the FBS in takeaways this year. They got 31 takeaways. So this is a team that wants to get the ball away from you, you know what I'm saying, and they want to get the ball back to their offense, and they are very elite at doing that. Now, the Irish going to have their work cut out against them. Obviously, like I said, they do a great job taking the ball away. They're going to face one of the best tight ends, I think, in the country in Tyler Warren. You know what I'm saying? So that's not going to be easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, talk about Penn State here in a second. They're going to have to be able to take that away and, again, do what they've been doing all year, getting turnovers, right? Getting the ball back to the offense. Now, I think they got the defense in order to do so. What worries me is offensively. Now, coming to this game, obviously, Riley Leonard did this thing against Georgia, 90 passing yards, 80 rushing yards. They got it done on the ground. This Penn State team is very cerebral and smart, man. They're going to know what you want to do. So this is like the one team that can be able to take that away. You know what I'm saying? So they got to be a threat on the outside. And number 2, you got Jeremiah Love that's banged up. He could be limited in this game. Now, Price has done a really good job of filling in so far this year, 720 yards and 7 touchdowns. So, again, Notre Dame wants to run the ball regardless. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to need it. Riley Leonard is obviously a great threat with the RPO action and things like that. They're going to have to get him comfortable and going in his game. Now, look, he don't got to have great numbers like 7 yards, 8 yards of carry, but he doesn't get into that 4 to 5 ratio and kind of get a hot start early, you know what I'm saying, especially in this game and moving the football. The reason I say that is because I don't think they have great receiving threats on the outside. Now, usually you look at Notre Dame, they got a couple guys that can beat you. Now, Bo Collins has come in. He's been pretty decent this year. Greathouse is another one, but these are not like guys you're scared of if you're Penn State. Like, if those guys beat you, you feel pretty good. Your number one goal in this game is to shut down and slow down that rushing attack for Notre Dame. That is what you want to do. If Riley Leonard beats you with his arm with these receivers, you feel pretty good, man. So if you Notre Dame, you got to establish the running game early with obviously Riley Leonard, get him into a rhythm, have the ability to be able to, throw the ball, you know what I'm saying, keep them, you know what I'm saying, balanced, keep the defense kind of just, you know what I'm saying, off balance a little bit and do what you're supposed to do as far as running that rock. You know what I'm saying? Allow your defense to create turnovers, get the ball back to you. Now, on the Penn State side of things, it's a little bit different. Like I said, for the Nittany Lions, you feel pretty good about Drew Allen and what he's continuing to do, right, so far this season. Did he have his best game against Boise State? Probably not, right? But you feel good about this offense and what it can do. This is probably one of the better balanced offensive attacks when you look at it in the nation. I put them up on par with, obviously, Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Humbly, as far as just the balance of the offense and what they can do. Now, the key is, in this one, you got to be able to take away some things. I think it starts first and foremost with, obviously, Tyler Warren. Now, when we break down Tyler Warren, remember, he leads NCAA in catches for far as Power 4 programs this year. His 98 catches as a tight end, right? So they're going to want to feed him the ball. Like, when he's in trouble, he's going to Tyler Warren. When that pressure is on, he's going to Tyler Warren. If it's a clutch moment, he's going to Tyler Warren. And as you guys can see, 1,158 catches and 8 touchdowns, leads them in each category, right? Can't also have to account for, obviously, Harrison Wallace III, who's also another dynamic threat. Look at this right here, averaging 15.7 yards per catch, 723 yards receiving as well. They can throw the rock as well. And I really do think this is probably one of the more balanced attacks that Notre Dame has faced this season. You could put them on par, obviously, with facing Georgia Tech, another balanced unit, but this is by far the best one, right? We look at Katron Allen and what he's done this season, over 1,000 yards rushing, right? Singleton rushed for over 1,000 yards as well. This is the first Penn State duo or Penn State teammates to rush for 1,000 yards each in the same season, man. So they're phenomenal. Over 2,000 yards rushing between them and 17 touchdowns. That is not easy to slow down, man, and they keep each other fresh. So again, they will have their work cut out. The good thing, though, if you Penn State, you face the offense that like to run the football in Georgia, and you shut it down. Now, again, the running game wasn't where it was supposed to be with the Bulldogs this year, but you was able to slow that down. So you're going to face another lethal attack. Now, again, Penn State is another team that has an elite defense when you look at everything. Jalen Reed's doing a phenomenal job this year, has 92 tackles. He leads the team. My concern in this one, though, Abdul Carter is banged up. He left the quarterfinal matchup with a undisclosed injury. So what's the health of him? Because he's one of those rare guys. He can be a game wrecker, right? Hey, Abdul, go finish this game for me. He's one of those rare breeds that can go do that. Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year for a reason, right? So what's his health going into this game? Still remains to be seen going into tonight. Probably going to try to play, but we'll see. We'll find out. But that's going to be very important. One thing, though, they're not just a one-man wrecking crew, this Penn State defense. I talked about Reed, right? I obviously talked about Abdul Carter. Wheatley's another pretty good safety as well in his own right. King is also pretty lethal in what he can do and bring to the table. So they got guys all over that are potent. Just Abdul Carter is their best sack guy with 11 sacks this year, right? But what other pressure, if he is banged up and can't go, what other pressure will they be able to get from the rest of the crew? We're going to find that out and see. And remember, this team is elite, too, on defense. 7th in FBS in scoring defense so far this year. And they're doing a good job in the playoff of limiting teams to under 20 points. You know what I'm saying? I think they've done it in each game so far. So, again, this Penn State defense is something special as well. So, yeah, man, that's a preview of kind of both teams. Which offensive line is going to win the trenches? Notre Dame is huge in the trenches. They got Anthony Knapp, so many great offensive linemen, man, that make big holes, great in pass protection, just overall elite. Penn State got dudes as well, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's interesting to see kind of just who's going to be able to come out on top. Again, if you Penn State, the formula for you, like I said, get Tyler Warren involved, right? You know what I'm saying? Make it easy for your quarterback, Drew Aller, to be able to survey and see what's going on with the defense, right? Don't turn over the football. Notre Dame wants to make you do that, right? They are averaging 31, or they have 31 takeovers this year, leads the FBS. Don't turn over the football, right? That's going to be another key and clue, you know, in this one for Penn State, right? Lean on your rushing attack with Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, right? They've been doing great so far this year, man, and be able to get a couple turnovers yourself against this Notre Dame offense, you know, that's coming in banged up, dealing with the flu, you know what I'm saying? So if you Penn State, you got to feel good going into this game, man, and you got the coach in order to kind of get it done, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, y'all going to ask, Naj, who you rolling with? I'm going to still remain with my pick, and I'm going to go with Notre Dame. I think this is going to be a phenomenal game. I think it's going to be an instant classic between two elite programs here in college football, and I think they're going to go toe-to-toe, you know what I'm saying, all the way to the end. Again, I don't want it necessarily to be a shootout. I don't want a 45-38 matchup, but I'd love to see like a back-and-forth contest, 24-21, coming down to the end. One quarterback's making the plays and they kick a game-winning field goal, or they're down 21-17 and somebody throws a game-winning touchdown. I would not mind seeing that. But you got to credit the college football, just having this playoff, expanding it, because sometimes these matchups we will only get maybe in the championship game. I think this is a great semifinal matchup, and I'm super excited to see these two, you know, just great programs, powerhouses, just go toe-to-toe with each other with everything on the line, and obviously a chance to potentially go to the championship, man. You don't get much bigger than that, man. That's my thoughts. That's my analysis. That's how I'm rolling, and I'm going with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to come out on top and beat Penn State in a phenomenal contest that will have an instant thriller and will come down all the way to the end with one team making the plays over the other. Y'all comment below, though. Who you got? Notre Dame or Penn State?